Andy, we've got you. There we go. Let's change that around. Sorry to scare you all there. No, apologies. You're all good, Andy. So, evening, everybody. Oh, well, it was another disappointing result today, really. Yes, it's a point, but at home where we really need to make that a fortress and pick up those wins, we've failed to do that again. But we struggled to create chances today. It felt missing that creativity in midfield. But, you know, a point probably overall was a fair result, folks. The referee awarded a penalty to us on 70 minutes after a foul on Talai being brought down in the box. He then stepped up and chipped an absolute cheeky ball down the middle into the back of the net to get us the lead. And then even I thought, we're going to go on and get this now because Wigan didn't really create much themselves. So the momentum was going to come to us. But then not long after that, a ball down the middle. Hazard seemed to hesitate, come in to deal with it properly. And then under pressure, I think it was a pass to Mumba. One of them scooped it up in the air, trying to clear it. That wind was holding that ball up. And then it fell to Wigan, who, after a couple of passes, split through the defence and scored the equaliser. Incredibly frustrating. The referee had a game to forget. He was absolutely shocking, just stopping the game for silly little things, it felt like, throughout. But, you know, with us only having 9 shots, but only 1 on target, which was the goal, was really a tell-all about the game today. We go into the international break with a chance to maybe get some quality time on the training pitch and work on that consistency. But is the timing of that break going to help or not? I'll ask the guys in a minute. So evening, gents. Andy, how are we doing today?
Do you know what, mate? I'm full of cold. I need my bed, but I'm okay otherwise. Disappointed from the result point of view, but other than that, I'm fine.
Yeah, good. Carl, how are you feeling? Obviously, not long back from a night shift and then a few hours sleep, then going to Argyle, having to watch that. You probably wish you stayed in bed.
Yeah, I wish I got a few more hours, to be fair. It wasn't a great game to watch, was it? And only having a few hours sleep going to watch that was disappointing, but I thought we turned the corner. Clearly, we haven't quite got there yet.
No. And someone else who likes their bed a lot, I'm sure his mum will be calling him any minute now. It's Harvey joins us tonight. Gavin is missing. He just said he's had enough. He's in the pub. That was just too much for him. But no, he can't join us tonight, in case you're wondering, folks. But we've got Harvey again. So how you doing, Harv?
Yeah, I'm all good. Disappointed from today, but hopefully it's nothing to worry about in weeks to come.
No, absolutely. So we've got Spencer in tonight. Evening, Spencer. And of course, happy birthday, Spencer. It is his birthday today. Stephen Cooper's also in. Evening, guys. Good point under the situation. I think that's the thing for me. Sort of what, and I've felt tired. I've had quite a long week, and I went to the game, and I was just like, "Come on, I want to get the game going." I predicted on Thursday night that we would get a 3-0 win. I felt we were going to carry that momentum and get something on Wigan, who have had a bit of a run recently, and Matt and Ryan Lowe being under a bit of pressure, but they felt like they did a bit of a Peterborough on us and did stop us sort of being too creative. We got some chances out wide, but then we just didn't make the most of them. Yes, there was Talai's shot that rocketed off the bar. Brilliant, obviously, training, play there from the corner, training grounds set up. But there was just nothing that felt we were really going to unlock them from both sides, in fairness. That first half, you sort of felt it's going to be a draw, this game. That's what it feels like. We couldn't see any way of unlocking them. And if it wasn't for the penalty, in fairness, there was no threat. Like I said, the stats show it, 1 shot on target, and that was the goal. I think for me, it's disappointing off the back of 2 back-to-back away wins. But I did say on Thursday, let's not get carried away, because we know what happened after Luton and then losing to Peterborough at home. At least we didn't lose this one, to be fair. But yeah, it just feels like a bit of a damp squib today. It would have been great to get the 3 points going into this forced break for us, obviously, against with Mansfield game that will get postponed. So Andy, I'll come back to you. I mean, the referee certainly was getting everybody riled, and even yourself and myself. It was just, I don't know what it was, but it just every time, like the smallest of fouls and stuff that didn't even look like fouls, like a bit of, sort of battling for the ball, and he would just blow up, and it felt like it was going to Wigan 9 times out of 10. And sort of part of me says, did he give us the penalty because it created an opportunity? I mean, it did look like he was dragged down, but you don't always get them, do you?
Not always. No, I know, and the ref did sport it today, to be fair. For both sides, not just us. He was given poor decisions both ways. Galloway should have had a penalty in the second half. He was being pulled about in the box, and that quite a lot. And the refs are standing watching, and so is the linesman, and nothing's given. And then Talai gets pulled down in the box, and he rightly gives a penalty for that. But yeah, it was all about him today, wasn't it? It was all about the referee. The football was like stop, start, and the wind didn't help either. So yeah, it's one of those games today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm going to come to you next, Harvey. Not just because Stephen Cooper said, "Evening, Harvey, are you playing tomorrow?" So you can answer that. But I want your view on as well, besides obviously overall, but on their goal, because it did feel like Hazard just hesitated when that ball, from recollection, was hit straight down the field, and there was a Wigan player chasing him down, and he sort of went to come, then stopped, and the ball was going to come to him, but it was just like, go to it and just deal with it, because that wind was clear to everybody that if you try and clear it, it's going to spin up and get held up by the wind and then drop in your half.
Yeah, so firstly, yeah, Steve, I have got a game tomorrow, but yeah, I think with the goal, it was definitely a Hazard error. But I do think, sort of looking back on it and sort of thinking of it of a goalkeeper's perspective, I think what he's done is he's stayed on the edge of the box, anticipating Mumba to shield it for him to pick it up, and then realised that it's not going to reach, went to clear it. And but I think the goal itself, I think the finish, Hazard should be doing better. I think with the
near post, where
the player was, I think there was only one real way he was going to get it on target, and it wasn't from the near post. So I think it's disappointing, but you have got to remember we're only the second week really properly into having Hazard back, and I think these errors are still going to become a thing possibly until the end of this year, and January we're probably going to see the best of him again.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of, I can see now what you're saying with that, and I mean, it was just frustrating. I mean, they did finish the goal well. The link, you'll see it in the short highlights we got, because I mean, obviously there wasn't much else. The 2 goals until I shot hitting the crossbar in the first half. But what was your thoughts on? Did you think that Wigan sort of stifled us, or were we lacking as has already been said in the comments, by GT, Evening GT, big miss with Mitchell out, and that was for personal reasons, family issues, from what we've heard, and obviously Ibrahim because of that suspension.
Yeah, I think it was possibly a bit of both, really. I think Ryan Lowe knows us a bit better than we know him. I think he would have had all week to explain to his players the better ways to get under our skin and to get the better of us, although it is a completely different squad. But I do think that we definitely missed Ibrahim in the middle, just for that bit of that extra bit of strength. I think a lot of challenges were going in that I think that Ibrahim was there, that all it would have took was one Ibrahim challenge and that would have cut it all out. I think no player would have wanted to go in as hard. And Mitchell, is a huge miss, but family has got to come first. And obviously all our wishes should be going to Mitchell's family member, whoever it may be, and hopefully that they are okay. So yeah, I think it's another one of them, and I don't want to say it too many times over the course of the season, but it's one of them where, we count our sorrows and we should be happy we've got a point out of the circumstances, but I don't want to be saying that all season long.
No, exactly. And Carl, I think, that's the thing, isn't it? Where or why have we had two teams at home now that have managed to stop us from being creative and through that middle? And it felt for me, I'm not the best tactical person, but McCabe seemed to be sitting deep a lot, and he's more of a creative midfielder. That's why we brought him in, if I recall. And he wasn't able to get in. I mean, he can defend well, great. Obviously, came off at half time for Patterson. But that still didn't really change things up too much for our fortunes. But yeah, it did feel like Ibrahim was probably the biggest miss in that match today.
Yeah, we just lacked creative spark in the middle. We missed his tenacity. We missed him trying to break up play, his aggression, his off the ball antics. Getting the crowd up as well. I thought the crowd was flat all match, to be honest, probably because of the way the game was going, that the referee taking control, Wigan frustrating us. We had decent possession, lots of sideways, backwards, because we couldn't find that opening. I thought Wigan defended quite well, didn't give us much space. It wasn't a bad performance. We just couldn't muster that killer ball, or the final ball was poor. I thought Tolaj did quite well, especially in the first half. That one was quite unlucky. They come back off the crossbar. I think if we go ahead earlier, again, it's probably a different game. I think the goal in particular came probably quite late, and I still thought that we hold on in the last 10 to 15 minutes. But we didn't look like we wanted to kind of defend on it or even push for a second. We kind of just got lost, kind of what was best to do, push for a second or defend it out. But I thought, that the final 10 minutes was frustrating, that we didn't have that experience like Cleverley's bucked on quite a few times now about, seeing games out or having that know-how to maybe slow down the game like Wigan were doing most of the game, which went on unpunished. It's just annoying. Very similar to the previous home game against Peterborough. We just lacked something. We seem to be playing better now, ironically, away from home than what we can do at home, which is a bit of a worry. So I think once Ibrahim comes back, then hopefully everything's okay with Mitchell, and once he comes back into the side, we should be a bit more resolute at the back. But the goal we conceded was disappointing. I think we could have stopped it way before it got to Hazard. I thought Mumba had another poorish game. His clearance was pretty poor. He should have just lumped it up field and just kind of aimlessly passed it into midfield, and we lost it. So just frustrating all round again, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll just bring up the match sort of top level stats here, and then I'm going to come to the comments because there's a few good thoughts being shared tonight. Evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us as well. And I can see a lot of people have paired and shared the channel, the live, I should say. So thank you for doing that. So Talai's penalty on 70 minutes, and then Murray on 83. So it was a bit longer than I remembered them getting the goal back. But that was the 2 goals. You can see from the momentum chart there, this is from FOTMob, this clip. So, a lot of sort of momentum shifts you can see going on there. But I think overall, Argyle did have the bulk of the possession, which is what the stats say. 60-40 to us. Expected goals high again, 1.42 to 109 for Wigan. And this is the killer. Total shots, 9 from us, which feels like it's a bit too much, but obviously those are not always the ones on target, because it doesn't show it on this stat, but there was only 1 on target, and obviously that was the penalty. Wigan had 9 shots on target as well. Both teams showing there as having 2 chances. So the overall stats here, you can see then, you can see the 2 shot. There are 5 shots on target for them. I don't, okay.
They had a few.
Yeah, fair enough. And I just don't recall it myself. But big chances missed. One, which was probably the Talai hitting the crossbar. Accurate pass rates, 79% to us, 71% to them. So fairly even. 15 fouls committed by us, so 13 for them, and 7 corners and 5 to them. We did seem to, I think the ref did favour them early on. So just going to scroll back through these comments. So Mark saying 2 points dropped, slow and sleepy. TC said no urgency. Why wasn't there? We have got the shorter clip of his post-match, and he did say that no one wanted to take the game by the scruff of the neck and see it through. Stevie Vaughan, evening mate. Good evening, guys. Disappointing result, but now regroup and have 10 days on the training pitch. Well, I'll come back to my earlier point on that. I'll get the guys' thoughts. I see it as probably a good thing, but actually their views will differ. Stephen Cooper saying, obviously you playing tomorrow. Where are you playing? Because I know another person further down, I think it was Thomas, asked where you are playing tomorrow.
We're playing Billicum. Billicum first is away, so I still need to have a look on a group chat and find the actual address of it. But the boss, the girlfriend, will be driving. So,
well, the boss already calling her the boss.
Yeah, she's the boss. She makes the rules.
What time do you kick off?
Under your
9:15. I'm pretty sure it is 9:15 or 9:30. So it's an early one.
That's why he's got to get his beauty sleep. You see, folks, as always. Back in the comments, Thomas Doyle did also say, I like your videos and I've subscribed. I like your channel. Don't forget to also subscribe to ours, Thomas, if you haven't already. Would be appreciated. If you drop some, sorry, I've seen your other message. Drop me a message over on my Instagram and we'll sort that out. All right, bud. Yeah, cool. So there you go, Thomas. Alex at Argyle saying difficult game for us, and then. But positives are it's our first draw. Talai scored again, and we didn't lose like Peter. But no, there's always good to look at the positive sides of it. But when would we ever have said? Luckily, our away form is doing us a good at the moment. Superintendent, I thought initially you were a Wigan fan because you said earlier it was a soft pen, but I can see you've also asked anyone think Roberts deserves a chance.
Yes.
Just quick one from you all then, Andy. Pen for you or not?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. They were doing it all. They were doing it a couple of times, and I said earlier on that they did it with Brendan Galloway. He should have had a pen. Yeah. He was being pulled 2 or 3 times right in front of the referee's eyes, and then Talai, of course, he was taken down. It was a pen for me. Pen for you, Carl?
I haven't seen the highlights back, but in real time it looked soft, but I've seen them given. I mean, the amount of penalties we've had against us, which have been weak, it swings in roundabouts, isn't it? But yeah, soft, but I can see where the ref is coming from.
Yeah, and for you, Harv, obviously, I don't know how much you saw it because it was right in the goal mouth. Obviously, you sit just off to the right in the Devonport.
Yeah, like with Carl, I haven't seen it back, but I think the perfect example of it is the penalty that was given against us at Stockport. I think that's probably the perfect similar situation. So we have seen them before, and I think that the referee's performance, I think, reflects whether or not it was or wasn't a pen, and he's given it. So
fair enough. But yeah, trying to not say independent. Superintendent also says, anyone think Roberts deserves a chance? I think it was great to see Seb Campbell on the bench, by the way, and it was great to see Tegan Finn start the game as well. We'll go through the player stats in a second. Let me switch back to a group view. Philip Bayliss, evening, says McCabe was constantly too close to Ross and slowed play down too much. That's what I was saying. He was sat too deep. I mean, he had a good game. He's always fairly confident on the ball and doesn't panic, so controls his game. But yeah, did feel for me he was too deep as well. Alex at Argyle saying we definitely should have made more changes. Sorinola was done in 85 minutes. I did feel he was getting a bit heavy again, towards the end of the game, and that's when I got quite angry. Benarouz should come on for Matty. He's picked Marty, but I know he means Matty. Got a point on Benarouz in a second. Philip Bayliss again saying McCabe was constantly too close to Ross, slow play down. I've already read that one out. I'm losing my trail of thought here. Alex actually at Argyle said he did feel McCabe was fine though. Stephen Cooper, at least we got a break. Could not come at a better time. I did not know that Finn being on standby for England under 18 counts. Well, there you go. It obviously does. Spencer saying, sorry guys, I'm late. It's my birthday today. I did give you a shout out, Spencer. So you must have been absent from your screen at the time. So happy birthday. Thomas Doyle, I'm just going to read a few more out. I sat in the Mayflower, Harvey, England. I want to be on your channel. So can you go down the bottom of the Devonport end and I'll be there at the next home game, please? So there you go. You got a fan.
Drop me a message on my Instagram. I'm sure we can sort something out.
But only if you subscribed already to his channel and to ours. I mean, come on, that's only fair, right? We're trying to catch him up. I'll stop for a second there. There's still a few more comments in there, but I want to come to each of you then on the international break. That's obviously a couple of people have just noted. So, Andy, sort of for you, is it a good thing or a bad thing right now? And give us your reasons why.
I'm a bit mixed on it, really, because they need that match fitness. But in saying that, they need to get things worked out on the training pitch because there's certain areas of the game that aren't quite there yet. And I think Kleb's alluded to that in his post conference, match conference. And yeah, this thing's not right there. We need some shooting practice for a start. We're not getting that ball into the final third as much as we can be. We should have gone at them today, really, and we just didn't. We couldn't break that back rear guard down, did we? So
take the game by the scruff of the neck.
We weren't. No, we just need those players to do that. I mean, we've been praising them for the last few weeks, scored 19 goals in 6 games, and you just think, come on, let's go and do it again. Get a few more goals, but it's just shooting practice. Apart from July, of course.
Yeah, Harvey, for you, is it a good thing or a bad thing, and why?
I'm really 50-50 on it because I think that there's a lot of things that we do need to iron out. And I think that considering the squad is quite relatively new to each other, I think it could be a good thing. But our away form, has been up, and I don't want us to ruin that by having a week off and then having to go play Mansfield on a Tuesday, which can be quite a daunting place to go. And I sort of think that, there's nothing you can do in training that's going to relate to a match scenario in the sense of a 90-minute game. So whether or not they get behind the closed doors friendly in with I don't know, maybe like a Tiverton, a Saltaire, something along them lines on a Friday or on a Sunday, depending on who they've got. But I think that it can go either of two ways for Argyle. It would either go really, really well or in the bin.
Yeah, I think one of the things, Carl, as I come to you for your thoughts on it, is that obviously Exeter got a last-minute winner. They're just a couple of points behind us now. You don't want to suddenly find yourself sort of closer to that zone again when you're not playing and the other teams are.
Early days with the whole Exeter thing. It's going to be back and forth throughout the whole season, isn't it? When we win or when they win, it's the same old stuff online. So. Yeah, with the international break, I just hate international breaks as a general rule. Anyway, even in the champ, felt like it was all the time. I get it. The higher you're up, the more internationals you've got. Would we have missed McCabe, Hazard, and Galloway if we did play the game? Don't know. I mean, if Mitchell returns, Ashby Hammond's been absolutely fine of late as well. I mean, we could have played the game. I understand why we postponed it though at the same time. Maybe Tom just wants more time on the pitch, on the training pitch, and maybe get the injured players like what's his name, Pato, more match fit. Maybe get Such a little bit quicker back, a little bit closer back. Sorry, but our long-standing injuries aren't going to be back for a long time. So injury-wise, I don't think it's a much of an issue. I think more time on the training pitch is probably good, and the rest will do a lot of players a lot of good. But I'd rather be playing if I'm totally honest.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, Philip Bayliss
just keep the momentum going as well, which you've had quite good recently. So yeah, it's a shame.
Agreeing with you that I hate international breaks, but I think that's the other side to it. Is probably Cleverley's feeling it's the right time to give him just a bit more to work on. We said end of October. Once we get into November, we should see a bit more of the squad forming, and of course, the other side to it is that with having this international break, I suppose, yes, you can sort of regroup. And I've lost my train of thought because there was something else I was going to point out and I've forgotten it now. So I'll just move back to the comments.
Probably watching England's like watching paint dry. That's probably what you're going to say.
Anyway, It absolutely wasn't what I was going to say.
Cheers.
But anyway, thanks for trying to dig me out of it. So what we got, Alex at Argyle saying, I thought a draw was fair, in my opinion. It looked very soft. The more I look at it, reminded me, this is the penalty, obviously, of the Stockport one, which is what you alluded to, Harvey. I think a draw was fair overall. We've also got Argyle 83, evening to you. Gutted, to be fair, 1-1. Was on a ferry from Italy to Croatia, couldn't get the score. Fair enough. So you're back from your, obviously, holiday after enjoying a bit of Block 9 Thursday live lounge as well while you were over there, of course, on Thursday. Donna Hone, Finn whips in beautiful corners. Shame nobody got onto the end of one. Yeah, absolutely. The corners he did take, certainly from our side, that we could see them in the second half, are very good. I thought he had an okay game, Finn, but again, wasn't really able to get into it, but worked and linked up well with Sorinola, I thought. Philip Bayliss, yes, Finn's delivery is high quality. Alex saying, yeah, my bad. I did mean Matty, worst player. I thought again. Oh, I disagree. I thought Sorinola had a really good game, but he did get leggy again. I agree with you on that. Philip Bayliss, regards to Finn, he's like a left-footed Beckham, lack pace but great delivery. And then Alex at Argyle saying, I thought Ibrahim was a real miss today. We said this earlier. Was a game for him if I had to pick one player that suited. And Matt Corey saying, another week, but same comment. Sorinola and Mumba so poor today. Mumba so frustrating to watch. So let me segue that into the player stats. So I'll read them out from the back. So Hazard in goal, 7.1. Overall, fine, don't have any issues. He hit a beauty of a ball to Tegan Finn very early on in the first half. That was almost Ashby Hammond-esque, with respect. But obviously didn't end up amounting to anything. But then the rest of the game, there seemed to be a bit of like, oh, am I going to just kick it straight out, or is Waidu and Matthias Ross going to receive the ball? And I think most of the time in that first half, it was Ross that received the ball to try and take it forward today. Ross on 7.1, I thought he was fine. Galloway 6.8, probably fair. Waidu 7. Again, I think that's fair for me. Mumba on 6.5, very fair. McCabe 6.4, Boateng 6.9, Sorinola, as just noted there, 6.3. Finn on 6.8, Aseni 5.8, but then didn't really get much to do anything with. Talai with quite a high 8.2. Yes, he scored the penalty with a cheeky flick down the middle, but yeah, if we pick straight up on the fact that Mitchell was missing, Andy, I didn't think the back line did too bad, to be fair. I mean, Galloway sort of just has these games where he's really, really good, and then he's just sort of average. I don't think there was too many mistakes from him. And like you say, he was probably should have been given what do you call it, a free kick or whatever you said, himself. So, your thoughts, Mitchell missing today?
Yeah, it was. It was a big loss today for us. And we sort of, as Harvey said, wish his family member, whoever that might be, the very best. But yeah, he's a good, solid defender, as Mitchell. But I looked at Ross today, and I thought Ross played actually very well. There was a lot of times where he was receiving the ball, and he was quite comfortable on his own in the centre there, having the ball sort of pinging back and forward to him. He looks quite accomplished there. He looks quite solid there. So yeah, we could have been better with him today, I suppose, in the side, and have Galloway. I don't know where you put Galloway really. I think Mitchell and Ross played better together.
Yeah. Well, Galloway played in his normal favoured position, if I'm right in saying so. For me, Carl, I don't think they weren't under pressure too much. So I felt they handled it well. Waidu again, for me, just consistent, really good, as he said in his press when we discussed on Thursday night. He's happy to play in whatever position. He's got that ability to do that. For me, I don't have many issues. The big standouts for me, though, Mumba, definitely just didn't have. He's up and down a lot, but he hasn't scored in over, what is it, 50 odd games, did Steve or someone put in our WhatsApp group?
50, 53, 54 games, something like that.
Yeah, and you just asked the question in the chat about, does Benarous deserve more game time? And
Yes.
I think there's a real good shout now that he needs to come in for Mumba, because for me, he can deliver a better ball in the box. He doesn't try and overdo things. Yes, he needs someone on that left back side to cover him. But yeah, I think Mumba just is overthinking things again, and his touch was horrendous today. I mean, it was just losing the ball with just his touch under no pressure.
I think he's just lacking massive confidence, and I think the longer he goes on without scoring or having positive games, then he seems to get worse as games progress. I still don't know where his best position is. I think when he was up on the left side, up more attacking, he was still struggling with the final ball. He seems to be a one-trick pony this season for me. He seems to cut back in quite a lot. He doesn't really want to take on his man like he used to under Shuey. That's what. That's when we saw the best of him was under him. And there's a player in there. He's just very, very frustrating. And I think very much like Whittaker was. He's a confidence player, and he's lost a lot of his mates over the last 12 months as well. Maybe that's personally affected him. But yeah, it's a worry that Benarous isn't getting a look in at the moment. Obviously he's fit, but the worry is the longer he's on the bench and doesn't get minutes, when he does come on, he's not going to be up to speed. And we don't want him breaking down coming off the bench. So we need to see him start more games to build himself up, because if he's not used in games, he's not going to be match fit. It's just a shame, because he came with a good pedigree from Bristol City, from what they told us, and for what we've seen in the EFL Trophy games, he's looked really good. And I'm just a bit stumbled why he hasn't got much game time in recent weeks. And I'd love to see him in Mumba's position, because I don't think he can do any worse at the moment.
No, I mean, Matt Corey's, there's 2 points Matt's made, actually. Carl, just stick with you for a second. On the defence, Matt said something, I think it was Matt who said it, so I'm trying to look now. Galloway not being great, sloppy passing going on there at times with him. But yes, and also he's asking questions. I hope questions are asked about Benarous and Owen Dale in the next press conference. Is it an attitude problem? Are their faces not fitting? Question mark. So are they lacking fitness? Must be something. Yeah, I mean, anything you would add to that? I mean, I don't know with Dale, to be fair, but Benarous does surprise me a little bit.
It's a good question, and I'm sure Chris will pick up on that and ask at the next press conference. Dale's a bit of an odd one, because he wasn't in the squad last week, was he? He wasn't on the bench.
Yeah,
he started was against Stockport. I thought he looked okay. Again, Tom's on about the experience again, which he's got, but he's not using him. But then at the same time, if Dale's starting, then Tegan Finn probably isn't going to start. So then we'll be moaning that Finn's not starting. So it's difficult. Maybe he's not 100% match fit, because he hasn't played much for Oxford before he came to us. So maybe this international break will do players like him the world of good, get match sharp, get more minutes on the training field, and hopefully push on from there. But yeah, the whole Benarous thing's a bit of a mystery to me, and he certainly deserves a lot more minutes than what he's getting at the moment.
Yeah, it was Alex who said the point about Galloway. He said Galloway is okay in a 3, but terrible in a 4, as we know. A lot of goals obviously coming from that setup against Bolton and Bristol City in pre-season, but he was better today. Andy B saying, disappointed we never change out one of the wing backs and give Benarous 20 minutes, the point we're just on now. Mackenzie driving down the left and cutting back crosses will be another good option as well there. Harvey, what's your thoughts on Mumba? There was talk in the summer that he was looking for an out. Obviously, as Carl said, a number of his fellow players he's been with for a while now have moved on. I never felt anybody, and I mean it respectfully, Barley, not that you're probably watching, but because he's got those sort of mistakes in him, because he has those games where he can be brilliant, and those times where he just, you don't know what's going on with his game. And it's that inconsistency in his game, being consistent with being inconsistent, that I think is what lets him down and stops those clubs maybe in the Championship thinking, he's worth a chance. But what's your thoughts on him?
I think since the start of the season, he's sort of been on a roller coaster. I think, hasn't he? I think there's been certain games where, especially away, where we've been at grounds where we're right next to the pitch and you can see him and his facial expressions and his body language. He sort of looks as if he doesn't want to be here. And I don't believe that's the case. I think Mumba's been a great servant for us since he's been here. And I do really think it is an attitude issue that he's got here, and possibly, he's seeing maybe Whitaker at Middlesbrough and seeing how he's doing. I can't think of anyone else now. I've gone mind blank.
Cooper, etc.
Yeah. He's
Randall,
all of his old friends and old work colleagues, and maybe he wants a bit of that, possibly. I do remember when Mumba was a bit like this last time, where his form really dropped and he wasn't really the player that we expected of him. And I think dropping him for Ben Ayus, even for 2 or 3 weeks, just so it can rejig Mumba's mind and make him realise, like, I'm not always number one on the team sheet. I've still got to work that place. I think that's going to be positive. And like Carl said, I think the longer we leave Ben Ayus on the bench, the less match sharpness he has, and the more chance of injury when he does eventually come on. So who knows? We'll have to wait and see.
And then in terms of the defence side, I mean, do you think Mitchell was missing? I just felt that they were generally all right overall today. He probably may have made a difference for their goal, but we won't know that. But I mean, your thoughts on the defence, and then also, McCabe's game as well today. Yeah,
I think Mitchell. I don't think there's a lot the defence done wrong, really. I think with the conditions of the weather, the wind, it was always going to be tough. But I think Mitchell just gives that sort of leadership role, doesn't he? I think the other defenders can rely on him, and he sort of like he would have been there to get him up, to bring him back, just to keep them in line. With McCabe, I really haven't been impressed with him since he's come in. I think a lot of comments are saying now about him slowing the game down, and I'd have to agree. I think that I understand his role possibly as a holding midfielder, but I think he's staying too deep.
Yeah,
but I think that's purely just coming from unexperienced. He's still a young lad, and since coming here, he only had four professional games, under his belt. So it's always a tough, daunting place to go, a long way from home, and in a tough league. So I think he's been thrown at the deep end, and I do hope he comes out well. But yeah, so at the moment, I just don't think that there's much luck.
No, I think if we stay, it was Mark who said made the comment McCabe was slowing it up too much, hence the lack of urgency by him and others' desire to push forward. So nothing really for Talai to feed off. He did it all himself. He does do that, which is great. You do see him trying to get stuck in and try and make something. But yeah, if I keep with you just on that for the minute with Boateng as well. I mean, Boateng only scored a 6.9 and Sorinola then equally a 6.3. I felt Sorinola was okay overall, but this is the problem, isn't it? Is we weren't able to create anything in midfield, and so you're not. I think McCabe is so used to probably playing with players where they do, the space opens up for him to be able to find that pass and create those opportunities for the forwards. And there just wasn't any of that today. I mean, even like I said, with Hazard passing the ball to Ross and sort of he was trying to go forward and then he was bringing it back to Waidu. It was just like, well, there was just nothing for anybody to create space to open up the play.
This is still me.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, no, yeah, I can understand. I can understand it, and I think that I don't really know. I don't really know is the answer, to be honest. I think that the team still needs to learn quite a lot, and I still think the team together needs to learn a lot for each other. And I think that's gonna come ultimately through these 10 days that we've got now, and we need a big result against Wimbledon and hopefully kick off from there.
Yeah, I think Philip sort of reiterates what really the point I was making. I think McCabe is still playing under 21 style football, all one touch and pass, but hasn't grown into League One pace yet, which is what this sort of 2 weeks on the training pitch, would do. And I remembered now what the other comment I was going to make on that, and that is, will Cleverly give the players a week off, or will he give them just an extra day or two and then get them in? Hopefully he will see it as the need to have them in and not give them any extra time off. Alex saying he's a decent passer, but there is a lot of miscommunication in this team, which is not what Aloni needs. That's the other frustration for me. I noted to the guy sat next to me in the game today, and that is Hazard as captain is great, fine, but like you can't communicate out and amongst the players. I mean, when Oseni was getting tugged, and actually he was getting fouled just on the corner of their box in the first half, he then got frustrated, had a right go at the ref, got a yellow card. And you're just like, that's when you need that outfield captain just to go up to him and say, calm it down, don't lose your head. The ref's not great today. You just got to just let it go. But it's hard to communicate all the time when you're right back in goal and not in the thick of it with some of your players. So for me, it's probably right. The communication was probably lacking at times there overall. So, but yeah, I mean, Talai, Oseni up front, and Talai and Finn, like I said, Finn 6.8, Oseni 5.8, and 8.2 for Talai. Oseni didn't have much to do, and I felt he did try hard to create opportunities. He also had what I thought was a brilliant little battle with the defender. The defender got out-muscled by him, and he was literally going to be on one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and the ref blew it up because, you fouled him. It was like, it felt like just a bit of typical strength battle going on, and he managed to win the battle. I mean, Carl, did you think that was a foul? You would have been close.
No. I was up in arms with that one. I mean, it wasn't even a battle, to be honest, Mike. He just kind of brushed against him, had a good run into goal, and the referee blows up for what I don't know. He obviously thought it was a foul, but it was they barely even collided or touched, or there was no shirt pulling there or anything. It was just a mind-boggling decision, which was one of many he made during the whole game. And probably that's why he gave us the pen in the second half to kind of even things out, because obviously the pen was soft. But I thought overall he was really, really, really poor. And looking at some of his stats, he's given out 38 yellows already this season, which is quite a lot, which says it all. He's only had 3 games in League One, so which most of his games coming in the National League and League Two. So I think it was all about him today, being probably in a bigger stadium. In a good game, and I thought he spoiled it. I mean, I don't think that the ref was the reason why we didn't win. That was down to us, but he certainly didn't help.
It just, I mean, we segued into that quite nicely as Alex just asked, have you talked about the ref, guys? If not, thoughts on him? Not the worst ref ever, but wasn't good. And do you know what? If it's his third League One game, there is going to be an element of wanting to try and make sure he does his job right. But it just unsettled the game, and it was just stop-start. And there was a couple of times when we were about to go on the attack, I think, and it was in the second half, because we were shooting at the Devonport, and one of their players went down, which I didn't think was a head injury, and we were about to break, and he blows the whistle up.
Yeah,
and it's just like come on, So
it's just poor in general. I mean, the linesmen are supposed to be there to support him, and they just don't make the decisions either. It's all on the ref all the time. I like to see linesmen sticking flags up and overruling the ref. You don't seem to see that much these days, especially in League One. And it's a lot of breaking in play. Lots of their players dropping down with injuries and getting back up like nothing's happened, and the referee getting in the way of our play as well, which was a laugh. Just generally poor. But I think a lot of the refs in this division have been poor overall, I think.
Yeah, it's and we can't just, we got to just get these results and score the goals, which we know when we create the chances for the likes of certainly Talai. He doesn't seem to miss the target. Thoughts on each of those, Oseni, Finn, and Talai? Carl, I'll stay with you for a second.
I thought Oseni did okay first half. Obviously, the chance we just spoke about, I thought he did did well to create the space and to run on goal, and he probably would have scored. He's had quite a few one-on-one goals this season, so I think he would have put that away if the ref didn't blow up.
Yeah.
Another strong game. Like I say, if he scored in the first half, again, I think we would have probably gone on to win comfortably. But like Tom said in the press conference, he had no right to hit the crossbar from that position. It was some strike. And he's going to be a serious player for us this season. I'll quite comfortably say he's going to get 20 easily this season. And let's just hope we can keep him for as long as possible, because his ceiling's a lot higher than us at the moment, sadly.
Yeah, well, that was definitely off the training ground, that one, as I said earlier. I can't remember who it was passed to in the box that then, sort of squared it over to him. But yeah, powerful. He's just so confident. Your thoughts on Finn? I thought
he was
looked so confident, and if you've got the style of play that's going to suit him, he will just charge up that wing and cut in, put brilliant balls in, take some cracking shots at goal.
I thought it was quite a matured performance from him today, quite a professional performance. He did okay when he had the ball, but because we didn't create much in midfield, he didn't see the ball as much as he probably would have liked. His corners are absolutely first class. It's just a shame we haven't really got any players in there that can get on them more regularly. Obviously, we've got players in that can do that with Mitchell and Ross, and Wirudu gets on the end of corners, but they're pinpoint and a lot better than the Randall corners we've seen for years on end, which kind of go too far or can't beat their first man. So we've really got to take advantage of his corners, because they are brilliant. And I'm surprised he's not on more free kicks. I thought Patterson wasted a free kick in the second half when he came on. But yeah, I thought it was a solid game for him today, and I think if we can keep in the team in the coming weeks, that should build up his confidence and hopefully get the England scouts watching him a little bit more, because I hear that he's on the kind of the backup list for the under-18. So
he has noted by someone earlier. Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I suppose, Harvey, you have to look at the situation with the thoughts on, Dale in particular, because of as both Andy and Carl have switched their cameras off. Andy's dog is needing a toilet. He put in the private chat, so he's like, "I'll be back in a minute." I think you've got Tegan Finn. We should be, and rightly so, using the players that we've got. And he's had a couple of really good performances. And so it's like, well, I'm going to start him. So yeah, of course, the likes of Dale are going to drop out. But if we don't start him and we don't give him those games, then he's always going to have a bit of a bit part, and that's really not using him to his strength. I mean, I was messaging with his dad, before kickoff, and he said, "Oh, I'm nervous, but he's perfectly fine." I said, "But that just says everything." I said, "That's why we need to start him." I said to Sam, his dad, because he's just oozing confidence, and he's got that quality. He doesn't care who's in front of him. So I think it wasn't the game that we were able to create, so it didn't really work to his favour. But when he did some linking up with Sorinola, I felt it was really good. But yeah, he just does ooze quality, and it's just different. For me, you can just see that it's a player that's going to just keep continuing to shine, Harv.
Yeah, 100%. I think that he's definitely the sky is the limit for him. I think that especially the scenario he's put himself in. You got to remember he's still a really young lad, isn't he? And I think every young lad, I think all they care about at that age really is playing. So starting games of football and getting as many minutes as he can is beneficial for him, because it keeps him happy, but then it also increases his development as a player. And you look at it long term, and you look at it as a business part for Argyle. If Argyle at the end of the season, if they do have to sell, they're in a scenario they have to sell, and Tegan Finn has had, let's just say, 12 starts and six substitutions. It's a great starting block for him in his first professional season, and I think along with that he's doing exceptionally well.
Yeah, no, he is. Anything else on the front too? Before I come to the pathetic highlights and the post-match interviews,
I actually thought Bim Peppel, when he came on, did actually do all right. I thought he had some decent wing play, holding it up, and obviously the goalies. What?
Andy, yeah, go on, Andy. Go on. So go on, counteract it then, Andy.
My counteract to that is like he's a big lump of a player, right? It's like he runs with. It's like he's got something up his backside. It's like he's holding a bunch of grapes up his backside, and he's just running.
Maybe he's just got bad hemorrhoids.
Well, he might have, yeah. No, but he didn't do much for me today. He's a good target man, but he needs to. He's not like a Sani. Sani would have had that ball, or Ibrahim would have had that ball in the box and in the net, maybe. He's just not. He's not a target man for me, Pepple.
No, I know it. Clumsy is probably the word.
Yeah, clumsy, cluso.
Yeah. But it's sort of he's got the confidence, and that's what those strikers need. Like as Seni, getting those goals in the cup and the goals in the game recently, it all helps. We can't. Mark, who made a comment earlier saying this is well put together, professional show, great work, lads, but I cannot do anything about Carl's jokes. Sorry. But right, I'm going to cut. What I'll do is I'll read out a few more comments and then I'll come to the Bulls. So, right, where am I going here? Because there's been quite a few. So, Philip Bailey saying, I think every individually, every new player is getting better under this coaching regime. The old players who were already here have not improved. Then we got Mark saying, oh, that's an earlier one. And we scroll down a bit. Oh, God, here we go. Trying to catch up with myself now. The best players in midfield, Philip saying, can receive the ball on the half turn under pressure and beat his man. It took Randall 3 seasons to learn this. Alex saying, have you talked about the ref guys? Yeah, that one we noted earlier, and we've done that. We've also got Stephen saying, picked up some Wigan fans today. They love our Callum Wright. Well, he's not really ours anymore, is he? Won't be at the end. And they said Wright was told he was not in his plans. Love to know why. Love to know what he thought. He is a good player too. Callum Wright was. I tried to stick with him. He ran around a lot, which is probably the best way of summing it up, but then didn't have much of a finished product, did he? In fairness. Philip also saying the ref and the win made it a frustrating game. Yeah, you with that win today, you knew it was going to mix up the game in some way. PAFC Green Army, good evening. Good to see you in. If Mumba goes in January, get a good fee for him. Buy some unused, good, decent attacking wing back and some loanees. Actually, just while it made me remember it. I didn't watch the show, but a couple of the guys mentioned in the WhatsApp. But Plaguey, Evening Plague, is possibly back. Was it November, December? He was saying he might be able to be. You're right there, Carl. You got a problem?
Drizzle.
I believe that was right. So yeah, we might see him sooner than we think, which is good. Obviously, Thomas Doyle's got loads of questions for you, Harvey, when he sees you. But I'll give him this one. Who do you think has improved the most? Is basically what he's asking.
Grumpy Loyal.
Well, that's for Argyle. That's for Argyle.
Definitely Argyle.
Argyle. I think Ashby Hammond's got to be up there, considering the player we had when we signed him. But I think I'm going to have to go Ashby Hammond. I think. Yeah, Ashby Hammond.
Question. Very good question.
Yeah, no, interesting. So there you go, Thomas. We got you that one. Philip Bayliss confirming cleverly said Plaguey was halfway through his rehab. So maybe Plaguey is saying something different than in that. I haven't seen the breakfast show, to be fair. So, right, let's go into some video. So, actually, what we haven't played yet is Harvey's post-match one that he puts on his YouTube. So, let's just see exactly what he thought after the game.
Right then, so that's full time. And Argyle 1, Wigan 1. And you can look at it's probably a fair result. It's disappointing and it hurts as an Argyle fan for them to score late, and fair play to all the Wigan fans that travelled. Also a nice gesture from Ryan though at the end there, coming and clapping at Denport end. He did bring us joy while he was down here. Yeah, just feel a bit disappointed with that really. I think that we had it. I mean, Talai's penalty very cheeky and very risky. If it didn't pull it off, but he did. It shows that little bit of flair and confidence that he's got at the moment, which you can't argue with and you've got to be happy with. But take a point out of the game, we ideally could have had 3, but we move on. It's not the end of the world. It's a point in the right direction. and we move on now. No game next week. More time for Argyle to drill it into these players how they want to be playing, and we'll be back next time with Ibrahim and Cleverly.
There we go. A question I had for you, and actually at some stage, we need to pick up the conversation I had with you a while back on just like showing people, like, you know, sort of talking about how you do what you do and all that's involved in doing that, because it's not as easy as it looks at times, folks, preparing all the content to bring you our show in our style, and certainly when you're vlogging, you know, recording all these videos. I mean, to be fair, if you ever seen him at the games, I mean, he's got about 4 assistants. One's there holding the phone with the team sheet. One's filming him. He's there with his microphone trying to tell you what his thoughts are and what's going on. I think there's another one that does his hair and his makeup as well before he does his video. But one of the things I did notice last 2 games is obviously you record and use some of the clips throughout the game. Obviously, certainly the goals. I see what looks like a couple of tripods. Like I can only assume. So are you with your phone on a tripod recording it? Or
yeah. I've got 2 different sizes. This one.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
This one is the one that I can bring into stadiums.
Yeah.
Without much hassle. But this was the old one, and this one's a bit better, but it's a lot longer. And stewards used to not be their friend when I brought that one in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier, because I think when you're watching a video, the worst thing you can be watching is it shaking up and down.
Yeah.
You know, and I think especially with the momentum of the game, sometimes just having a tripod, even though my hands aren't always bang on like steady, it steadies it out a little bit. Yeah, I think it helps massively.
Well, that one that I sent you the link for, this one here, is really good with the poppy out and the extendable. So, and folds away nicely to not annoy them. I do find this funny because it's clear why, although not all stewards will know you, but you can walk in with a heavy-duty thermos flask with God knows what inside it, and they'll let you go in willy-nilly. But, oh, no, tripod with that on. Can't be having that, young man. So Chris Errington will be jealous. There you go. Carl with the comments. That's Carl's jokes in the comments, just making it clear. So... Right, let me go then to I've got the clip of Talai from the pitch side. Tell you what, they either make you look really good or look really stupid. Luckily, it didn't affect them. And then I'll go straight to Cleverly.
Gaffer, a draw, 1-1. What are your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think it sums our season up a little bit in terms of just not there yet. We didn't do quite enough to win the game. If you look at it in 95 minutes, I don't think there was enough urgency or enough sort of ownership of I'm going to take this game by the scruff of the neck and we're going to set the tone and we're going to go and win it. And the real disappointing thing is we managed to find ourselves 1-0 up, which was probably a little bit fortunate. And then you have to win the game. And it's one of those games after the game you say they're the kind of scruffy 1-0s that you need in a successful season. And to concede the goal in the manner we did, everyone's really disappointed with that.
Yeah, and then we've also got Brendan Gallup.
Firstly, thoughts on the game?
Frustrating to come away with the draw in the end. We pushed, and after we got the goal, I think that their goal that we conceded, we could have done a lot better. And frustrating, but we'll take a point and we'll move on.
Yeah, nice and simple from Galloway there. So yeah, as we said, sort of disappointing. As Cleverly said, not to have someone take the game by the scruff of the neck, especially after going 1-up. It was 13 minutes after that then Wigan came back and scored. So yeah, Galloway, Andy, looked frustrated and disappointed. Obviously, a few words. These are the short clips the club put out, so you can see the full interviews, of course, on Argyle TV. But yeah, you just got to we've just got to cut out these silly little mistakes. Like I said, it should have been dealt with better probably by Mumba and Hazard on that attacking play that they had, because it was really the only real chance that they had all game. Yeah, shoot off, Harvey, if you need to go, mate. That's fine, buddy. We're nearly finishing off now anyway.
Cheers, Harv.
So yeah, cheers, mate. Yeah, so Andy, I think that you just got to move on, haven't we, now, and look forward to the next game, and not long after that, then it will be the clash against Exeter.
Yeah, I think Galloway's going to put his hand up and say it wasn't his best game today for us. He did make a few mistakes, but he did also almost win a penalty for us. He should have won a penalty for us. Hitting that ball in the air was the error today. The wind was taken everywhere. We noticed it from where we were sat, that there was no wind in the corner flags, but it just seemed to be swirling around the stadium. And it's like you cannot play football in that type of wind when the ball's up in the air. It just goes where it wants.
Yeah,
keep it on the floor, keep it simple, which we try to do, but get it forward a bit quicker.
Yeah, no, definitely. Carl, any thoughts from you on Cleverley and Brendan Galloway's post-match thoughts there?
Yeah, well, just frustrated like we all are. I mean, I suppose like Galloway said, we got a point and we move on. Maybe a few weeks ago, you might have lost that 1-0, and like we did against Peterborough, we didn't, do enough to get any points from that one. So on another day, it could have been a loss. I suppose a point to point keeps the momentum going. Unbeaten run going a little bit longer, and something to build on against Wimbledon. But that's going to be another difficult game because they're flying as well. I think they're 5th in the league, so that's not going to be an easy game.
Yeah, no, that just shows, I mean, doesn't it? The league is so up and down, and it's anyone's game at times. I'm just going to actually, while I'm looking at that, let me go and just scan over the results that went on today. Hang on, if I can find it. Come here, FOTMob. Where is it? Should be League One. I've got the table as well to be able to pick that up. So let me go back one. Where is it today? There we go. So we had Doncaster 1, Burton Albion 1. Obviously off the back of beating Cardiff as well away on Tuesday night after the defeat to us. Wycombe 2, Barnsley 2, Blackpool 0, Wimbledon 2, and Blackpool have now sacked not just Steve Bruce, but I believe the entire coaching or management setup there. So they've had enough already. Bolton 2, Peterborough United 1, Cardiff 4, Leyton Orient 3, Huddersfield 1, Stockport County 2, Lincoln 0, Exeter 1. That was a very late winner for Exeter. Port Vale and Northampton was a 0-0. Reading 1, Mansfield 1, Stevenage 2, Luton 0. So Luton.
Stevenage are flying, aren't they, this season?
Yeah. So the table, as it stands now. So I don't know why it's where we two highlighted Doncaster, but 14th and 15th. So no real changes. Both of us on the same points there. You've got Peterborough sat at the bottom, Blackpool not far off now. It's only a point in that. Same with Rotherham, they're on 8, so 7, 8, and 8. And Burton in the last place of the relegation on 9. And then at the top, you got Stevenage there, +9 goal difference. Played 10, won 8, drawn 1, and lost 1. Bradford in 2nd, Cardiff 3rd, Lincoln 4th, Wimbledon 5th, and in the final place of the playoffs, you have Huddersfield, and that is 19 points that they are on to our 13. So it can very easily and very quickly turn on its head. I was sat there looking at the slide that has the match highlights on, but actually, do you know what, guys? It's not worth it, because other than the Talai hitting the bar, they then go straight to the penalty and they go from that, and then they go straight to Wigan's goal. So I'll save everybody from having to see that one. So look, I think we'll call it a night tonight. Stephen Cooper saying Galloway must be on weight jab. He's looking good, keep fit. Great player. And PAFC Green saying, wonder what will happen to Ogbeta and Beidou. I can't see Beidou coming back, to be honest with you, at all. Thomas with a few more questions he had for Harvey, but you'll have to ask him when hopefully you get to meet him at the next game. Alex did say, though, Boateng, Lewis, Hammond even, Aspie Hammond and Ibrahim is top 3 players in there. So final thoughts, any from you, Andy?
Just must do better, really. Can't do better. They've got to work out really. Now we've got this 2-week break or this international break. We've got to work on the training pitch to 1, get our shooting practice in, and 2, to start playing the football that Cleverly wants us to play. So I think it's nearly there. I think Clev says it's nearly there. They're not quite there yet, but it's almost there. And if they really work on that hard over the next couple of weeks, then we stand a good chance of getting some points in our next game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Got to now get that consistency sorted. And obviously with that consistency, Carl, again, it's about trying to find your, consistent starting 11 as well, so everybody knows what they need to do. And you're relying on that repetitiveness of the same, 11 coming out and playing, the way you want them to play.
Yeah, we'll be fine. It's just disappointing we couldn't hold on to that, like a scruffy 1-0 win, in today, and push on after the international break. I mean, it wasn't horrific today. It was disappointing. We didn't push on for the second goal. We didn't defend their goal better. But I think it was still a work in progress. We clearly missed Mitchell and Ibrahim today. I think if they were on the pitch, we probably would have been fine. We'll have the rest over the next 2 weeks. We'll get Edwards back as well from suspension. Ibrahim will be back. Hopefully Mitchell will be fine, and I'm sure we'll push on and hopefully get 3 points against Wimbledon, which will be a really, really difficult game. But I think with everyone back and a bit of rest, hopefully we'll have enough to beat them.
Yeah, definitely. We shall see. Just before I properly sign off, obviously, of course, a merch shout out. So everything, like I said, last show is all available online now, what you see there. So if you would like to show your love and appreciation for the Block 9, then you can go and get your mugs, hoodies, T-shirt, etc. So they're all up there. I'm looking to do some stickers as well. So hopefully get them up soon. And in terms of the next show for us, so these international breaks are also useful for certainly all of us, but in particular myself, because it just means I can have a bit of a break. So we're not going to be, well, when I say we're not going to be doing our live lounge or our post-match next Thursday and Saturday, I don't know. So unless something comes up and we need to jump on and discuss it, then we will. But it certainly would be good just to have a break from having to do all the prep and wait until we pick up again for the next live lounge. So other than that, folks, thank you for joining us again tonight. Tough one today, but a point is still a point, and it's all to play for still. So have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Spencer, if you're still in, have a great rest of your